Hey, my Taurus babies, this is EJ from Taurota Tarot. I hope everybody is having a good week. This is going to be Taurus and Aquarius for 2020. Trying to get through these signs before we get to the end of the year. So that's why I am in November doing this. It's going to be the usual 9-card spread. Not going to do overall energy because obviously, well, in my head, it changes. Your overall energy can be one thing from day to day, week to week, month to month. So this is, however, just going to be a general read. Some things have changed. So I was going to do the $20 personal readings through the end of the year, but that's not going to happen. Obviously, this is not just me. There are other people involved as a business endeavor. So $20 readings, probably going to go to the middle of next month, and after that, that's going to change. So just throwing that out there. Let me say thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed. I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all have really, doing this year has really been the highlight of my year. So it's because of y'all that I get up and do this every day or every other day or whenever I do it. It is definitely because of y'all. Leave it to me, my butt would be in the bed asleep. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. And I enjoy doing this for y'all. So if y'all have ideas, feel free to leave me comments in the comment section. At any rate, Taurus and Aquarius for 2020. So we're doing 9 cards. The centerpiece, the 5th card will be the centerpiece, some challenges and obstacles for next year. Your first card will be the last year's summary, basically this year and what's going on. The second card will be departing energies. The third card will be what to let go of for the new year. Then, of course, your centerpiece card. Then the next card will be where help will come from. So whatever situations you guys may be in, that'll give you an indication of where you can get help from. The next card will be upcoming opportunities. And then what needs to be aligned. And that has proven interesting in all of the readings that I've done thus far using this spread. It's funny how the cards will just kind of pick up on whatever's going on and throw it out there. That is a good thing to pay attention to, what you need to be aligned to. When I did my personal reading, I forget what 2 cards came up, but basically my inner and outer self are out of alignment. What I really want in my heart versus what I'm actually physically pursuing are one or 2 different things. And had I not done that for myself, I probably would still be trying to struggle with those 2 things. And sometimes we don't always realize that our actions aren't really lined up for what we're asking for. You know, we may be asking for a partner, but our lifestyle is such that you ain't got no room for no partner anyway. And it's those everyday things that attract things to you or attract you to things or people. So that I put that in there because I felt like when I was doing the research on what I really wanted to ask the universe for this reading, that just resonated really loud with me. And again, I'm glad I did it because it showed me a thing or 2. The last card is going to be what to avoid next year. So we'll do 3 more shuffles. 1. Here's 2. And here's 3. All right. So let's get this kicked off. Taurus and Aquarius. Y'all got some complicated energy too. Damn. All the meetings got this little complicated, funky ass energy. All right, Taurus and Aquarius, let's see what we got going on. So, balance, the crown chakra, or I know, or I think. New beginnings, spiritual union. Yeah, your centerpiece is obstacles and challenges. Who the hell knew? What the hell? Choose wisely. Memories of love. Trapped in fear. Damn. And the throat chakra, or I speak. And I'll go back and tell you what all these mean and what they're saying and what they're doing from this deck. The balance card is pulling the Ace of Cups. The crown chakra is pulling the Princess of Cups. New beginnings is pulling the Nine of Wands. Spiritual union, pulling the Two of Coins. Obstacles and challenges is pulling the Six of Cups. Choose wisely, pulling the Judgment card, you know. Memories of loves, pulling the Eight of Swords. Trapped in fears, pulling the King of Swords. And the throat chakra, or I speak, is pulling the Empress. And I will pull oracle cards at the end of this. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. And Taurus and Aquarius, what the hell? What the hoo-ha? Okay, so in the first position, this year's summary. Most of you were out of balance. Yeah, I'm just reading them as they're coming to me. With this being the bottom of this. And trying to find that unconditional love. Y'all, either one of y'all, look at them 2 ones, either one of y'all or both of y'all just out of balance. And not, you're out of balance as a couple because the 2 of you individually are out of balance. And it feels like this year both of you have just kind of done your own thing and you haven't really connected. All that air, hello, Aquarius. Y'all have kind of been going in 2 separate directions. Taurus doing its own thing, Aquarius doing its own thing. And with that, either one of you have been trying to talk about unconditional love, but if I read them reverse, yeah, everybody was just pretty much dumping their cup out. And because this is a cup card, immediately it's telling me it's got something to do with emotions. And so I'm thinking and feeling like most of y'all were like, fuck it, I ain't telling you nothing about how I feel. Or maybe one of you was just dumping your cup out to the other one and the other one was like, so and shit. Sorry, Taurus and Aquarius, I'm just giving it like it is. But this year for the 2 of you has been very, very, very unbalanced. That's this year's summary. The departing energies, the know-it-all, trying to keep all that emotional distance, that's going to disappear. So whoever in the relationship has been just at arm's length, just trying to, you know, not get too deep, whatever, that's going. That's going the way of the dodo bird, because you're not, the knowledge that you have about each other doesn't allow for that kind of distance. And for whatever it's worth, Taurus and Aquarius, y'all got a lot of feeling for each other. This is probably the most contented I've been in 6 weeks. That tells me that this is a good relationship if the 2 of you get this part right. But right now, it feels like one of you is just all emotional and the other one is just seriously like so and shit. And it has a lot to do with the past for both of you. If that makes any sense, whoever that's resonating with. So Taurus, if you got issues with an ex, even if you're not talking or speaking or seeing that person, you have kind of schlepped some of that with you. Aquarius, same for you. Got issues with your ex or just in the relationship department overall. Y'all brought all that luggage with you. And I think you brought it all with you because at the end of all of it, or in the middle of all of it, y'all really do. It's just, forget the card. It's just like this. This is how y'all feel about each other. But it's Everybody brought their own shit. So that in turn is bringing up some issues that are going to either need to be worked out next year, or maybe that knowing might be time to make a commitment one way or the other. Should it get off the pot? It's that kind of energy. But this is what's leaving. That arrogant, I know it all, crown chakra, I'm the king, I'm the queen, I'm it, along with the emotional distance, going the way of the dodo bird. For what to let go of for the new year. If you want this to go, you got to get past go. I'm just saying, when you're playing Monopoly, you can't stay on Park Place. You got to get that $200 and start going around the board. Even if you know there are other houses on other pieces of property on St. Charles Place, somebody got 5 houses in a hotel. Yeah, but you can't stay here. You can't stay here. And this is what the two of you need to work on. This is not, if you've been doing this for a while, and it feels like a lot of you been doing it at least this year, if not this year, last year, maybe the year before, you got to get past the new beginning part, where every time you see each other, you know, it's a brand new thing. And in some ways that's good, but in a lot of other ways it's not good, because you're not providing any stability for the relationship. So a lot of y'all are still dealing with shit you should have been done with 6 weeks after you got into a relationship. But because of time and distance and space and people, you know, not wanting to fully get into this and keeping their emotions all back here where you can't get at them, yeah. So you're going to have to, what you need to let go of is not committing, is the word that's coming to mind, to this relationship where y'all are still really at the first place you were at when you met each other. And you really haven't allowed the relationship to grow. On top of that, your brain on fire. And when a relationship stays at 0, you see that 0 up there, and you don't, the relationship's not growing, it's not moving, it's not doing anything, that's what happens. You get a whole lot of emotional shit going on, and you start amping up and firing up passion that doesn't need to be fired up. And this is not the good kind of passion. This ain't bedroom passion. This is, you know, slamming doors and hanging up on each other and blocking each other on social media and, you know, just short of kicking the shit out of each other. That's where you are. And that's because you haven't grown. You're still at 0. This is not going to resonate with everybody. So just eat the fish, leave the bones. What's important for the new year for Taurus and Aquarius? The spiritual union itself is an infinity. We'll say that again. The spiritual union itself is an infinity. So there shouldn't be, if you are really connected to each other, it shouldn't be a question of what's important. It should constantly be you and me and me and you and you and me and me and you and you and me and me and you and you and me and me. Y'all heard me. Yeah, that's what it should be. But again, coming out of this year, you see that little leaf up there? If I could just slide that leaf down like right there, that would be where y'all are at. That's what this feels like. Y'all are together. Even if you're not in the same physical space, mentally y'all are doing the same. It's almost like you're mirroring each other, if that's making any sense. But what's important next year is to have that leaf where it is. And a balancing, because that's a 2, a balancing of what's going on. That's what's going to be important for the new year. It's already an infinity. When you get into spiritual unions, and for some of you this might be a twin flame, a soulmate, but when you get into spiritual unions, and real spiritual unions, not the bullshit people throw around, you know, like, oh, we got spiritual connection. Yeah, okay. I'm talking, and those of you that I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying. That karmic shit. When you have that, You got to bring it in balance. And that's going to be what's important for the new year. If you all are going to keep doing this, that spiritual union, put the infinity in it. Y'all hear me? Because you're not getting together to break up. You're not. The spiritual union is an infinity. It goes on. You have kids. And when you do things out of love, come on now, it should be in balance. It shouldn't be any wishy-washy shit. It should just be in balance. Again, going back to the same thing up here, this year, not too many of y'all were in balance. We're focused on what's important for next year, bringing it in balance, and working on the spiritual part of the union, and knowing that spiritual union. You see, I wrote infinity up there a year ago, because in this deck that has this implication. Spiritual union is an infinity. It should just go on and on. You and me and me and you and you and me and me. And not just me, or you. Your challenge for next year, your centerpiece, there's going to be some obstacles and challenges. So you might as well just buckle up for that shit now. But a lot of those challenges for next year for both of you are going to come from past experiences. I said it. Exes, it could be a lot, not just exes. Not just exes. But that's your challenge for next year. How do we love each other and still deal with the outside world? That's what it is. How do we do that? Here's your 5. And keep moving forward. Here's your 6. How do we do that? How do we bring this back into balance and still do what we do and allow people from the outside to do what they do without affecting the relationship? I know y'all like, what the hell? And if you've got a good relationship, let's just put it in its basic form. You shouldn't be worried about who's texting your partner, who's calling your partner, who's FaceTiming, Facebooking, Messenger, Snapchat, Instagram. Y'all hear me? You should have enough trust in each other that regardless of whatever's in your path or whoever is in your path, because this could be things too. This is not just about exes, but things from your past trying to get in the cup with you and your sweetie. So now we just got a big cup. How do you make this relationship go and still function with things from the outside? Can you do that? Is there enough trust in the relationship to do that? That's your challenge for next year. When we get to the next card, where will your help come from? Help is going to come from some decisiveness. I know I said Aquarius. I'm sorry. But both of you, Taurus, you dilly-dallying around. Aquarius, you flitting and flotting from one thing to the other. Your help next year, not necessarily going to come from a person or people, but it's going to come from your logical decision making about your relationship. I didn't say about the car or the job, but about your relationship. That's where your help will come from. And when you are able to make judgments about the relationship based in trust and love, I'm just saying, that's where your help will come from. If there is any indication of any kind of up and down, back and forth, then I'm going to say this, because this is the energy that is right behind that. It might be time to consider doing something else. Just saying. Where your help will come from, answers will come to you when you start making decisions. But again, and that this is under this card is no mistake. Y'all still acting like y'all just met 2 days ago. And the relationship has not grown. Where will your help come from? Making some decisions. Choosing wisely. Do we want to live together? If you're there, Do we want to keep dating if you're there? Do we want to get engaged if you're there? Do we want to get married? But all this floating around, well, we talked about getting married last year, but then the kids, and yeah, your help next year will come when you start making those decisions. And for some of you, there may be some termination energy in this. You may decide, either as a collective or as singles, individuals, that you can't do it. And I'll say it again, either as a couple, you may decide, we can't do this, it's not working. Or individually, Taurus might be like, fuck it. And Aquarius might be, you know what, fuck it too. That energy is there. But it's coming behind this. And it just feels like, for whatever reason, one of you or the both of you are scared of committing to the other person. And that could be from old shit, dumping your cup out too early. That happens. Getting too emotional in a relationship too early. It happens. Not having any kind of real balance. And I have to say that too, because it's there. Or commitment. You know, when you juggle, if you've ever seen anybody juggle, it actually looks like a very simple thing to do. It isn't, to have a bunch of balls up in the air and trying to keep that shit going. But what makes it work is the person's commitment to watch those balls land into whatever hand. You heard me, I said commitment. If you don't have the commitment to do it, you're going to have balls just rolling around because you're not paying attention. You're not committed to the process. That's the energy that's here. If y'all ain't committed to the relationship, if you're not committed to it, stop. And it may take one of you, and I'm stopping because there's different things coming to me, and I'm just kind of looking at the board. For some of you, it feels like there's not enough emotion, and I'm probably going to say that's Taurus. You're not feeling enough of this. You got 3 cup cards here, and the way that they're placed and where they're placed, it's difficult. Obstacles and challenges, the crown chakra, I think, or I know, and that arrogant kind of I know, and then being out of balance. Those are 3 big things. And if you're not getting enough emotional support, now I'm talking to Taurus now, if you're not getting enough emotional support from your Aquarius Taurus, number 1, have you mentioned it? Have you said it? Number 2, if you have, and how long has it been since you said it? Have you seen any improvement? And if you haven't, why are you still here? Because balance is being screamed at me 6 different ways. Somebody's out of it, therefore the relationship is out of balance. And the clicking, I'm not hearing the wheels clicking. Like I said, your help next year, if you're in this, even from day 1 next year, your help is going to come when you start making decisions about what to do, what you want to do, either as a couple or as individuals. Do we stay or do we go? When you get down here, upcoming opportunities will happen when you let go of the past. Ooh. And take them damn horse blinders off. Now, I don't know who I'm talking to. This happens to be an air card, so it might be the Aquarius. But your opportunities will come when you let the past go and you take off the horse blinders. If you're clinging into some shit, Taurus, Aquarius, either one, that happened to you before you met this person or before you got into this relationship, it's causing a problem, even if you're not aware of it. Somebody said something to you, hurt you, whether physically or mentally, however it's resonating. You done brought that, and I'm 2nd, 3rd, 4th time I'm saying, you done schlepped that shit into the relationship, and it is either causing you or the other person that emotional distance you've been feeling. You can't never get quite, it's always something. Can't ever get it all out. Upcoming opportunities will happen when you leave the past alone. You take the horse blinders off. If you don't do this, and if you are not making decisions about the relationship, y'all might as well pack it up. Just pack it up. When we get to this trapped in fear, what needs to be aligned? You can't be fearful, Taurus and Aquarius, and do business. And the business part can be love, it can be running the house, it can be taking care of the kids. But until you get this in alignment, which means then, same thing, being in balance. Stop being fearful and get out of this mode of I'm scared to make a decision, I'm scared to do anything, while y'all are still acting like you on your first or second date. Leave the fear, drop the fear, and get back to business. You gotta pull those two things together. Let the fear go, and start working the relationship. This is more air, so I'm thinking maybe the Aquarius has just kind of been scared, don't want to commit. You're gonna have to get into alignment. You have to get the basics of the relationship, let me put it like that, and you not being fearful. That's what you have to get into alignment. How you're feeling about the relationship, how you're thinking about the relationship, in particular how you're thinking about it, but up here, same row, how you're feeling, and letting the fear go, and just going ahead and letting nature take its course. If y'all are gonna be in a relationship, be in a relationship. If you don't want to be in a relationship, then move on. Why are you stuck in fear though? There's no reason for that. So you got to let that go and get to the structure. Overall, you're just going to have to get in balance. And again, it feels like Aquarius, both of these do, even with the cards there, I know they're air, but that feels like Aquarius. The horse blinders, just kind of motoring along and, flipping and flopping back and forth to here and there and whatever, and doing what you're doing, and, dwelling on old shit. It's not helping. It's not helping. The last card, what to avoid? Speaking negatively about your relationship. That's the Empress. And I know what the Empress means. But what the cards are telling me now, what to avoid. I speak self-esteem or no self-esteem. Next year, if you want this to go, Taurus, Aquarius, either one, you're going to have to start speaking positively to each other and about each other. If you live in different residences, girl, he came over here, blah, 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 blah. That's negative energy. That's a total negative vibration you've thrown out into the atmosphere. Aquarius, same for you. Hey, he came over here. Rah, 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 rah. You throwing more negative energy. Male, female, doesn't matter. But both of you, if you just don't want this to be the wrong, ugly kind of decision. And it's funny because y'all love each other. Y'all love each other so much. I don't even think you realize how much the other person loves the other person. Y'all are just, and you're still here at the beginning. It's almost like it's a flower, and it's the same size flower it was when you bought it 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 2 months ago, or 6 weeks ago, whatever the time frame is for you. But it's like it hasn't grown. This is still at 0. What to avoid next year? Avoid throwing out negative energy. Avoid speaking negatively about your partner. I'm just throwing it out there. Y'all know I do it. I got sisters and cousins and shit. I'm on the phone. Girl, let me tell you what he did. Yeah, well, in the long run, in the moment, it feels good when you have to vent and you have somebody that you can vent to. That feels good. But if you continuously are harping and complaining on stupid shit, for real talk, how can you have a relationship like that? And I know some of y'all like, why she got this? Because this is resonating. Might not be you, but somebody's watching this and they're going, yeah. If, I'm going to say this to Taurus. Taurus, if this is not working for you, you have things you can do to try. And then if you're done trying, it's time to let it go. And I'm saying that to Taurus because Taurus, just by nature, is loyal to a fault, dedicated to a fault, committed to a fault, even when the other person ain't loyal, dedicated, or committed. So I'm saying that to Taurus, if you're the one here that's stuck and you can't let it go and you don't know what to do and the wishy-washy, I'm just a general feeling of the cards, not even what they're telling me, just looking at them. Aquarius, we pounce back on you. If you trying to keep it like this, maybe it's time to do something else. I'm putting it out there. It's not easy to hear that. And again, y'all love each other. That's really what's fucking me up. That's in my gut. Y'all love each other, and that's the end of the story done. But there's been so much stuff done to either one of you. You can't see past what's in your head. What you do see, you've blown out of proportion. You're too scared to do anything because you don't know what the past holds for either one of you because both of y'all are still stuck on 0. Come on now. Want this damn cup so bad. And this is Taurus. You can taste it. But you're out of balance. Both of you are out of balance. But Taurus, you're out of balance too. Both of y'all. I'm just saying. And the only way you're going to have any kind of success with the relationship, what needs to be aligned, I'm just saying, not being fearful and not being afraid to get down to the brass tacks. You got to get that into alignment. Being courageous and willing to tackle this shit head on. Just putting it out there. Just throwing it out there. I wish I could I'll be glad it'll probably be another 2 millennia before they get, maybe not, but where you could just have a little hologram in your hand, a little person pops up and says, hey, don't do that. Yeah. If I had one, I could show you exactly what the feeling of this is. Because I'm not anxious, I'm not upset. And by nature, I'm a very anxious person. I'm always anxious. Always smoking, always got a cup of coffee, always got something going on. Just, that's me. But right now, I'm just as calm and content. So I know at the bottom of all of the bullshit either one of y'all are putting each other through, there's some solidity, as in solid, there. Very solid. But if y'all are too scared, or if one of you is too scared, it ain't gonna ever be anything. Y'all are gonna stay at new beginnings. And I don't think either one of you want that. That's what's crazy about it. But schlepping that shit around from the past. That's really probably the bigger thing. And it's not just one of you, Taurus. You got it, Aquarius, you got it too. Y'all are letting things keep you from enjoying each other because of things that have happened to you before you knew each other, basically. And that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. All right. Back to basics. Didn't I say that? Ask your spirit helpers. Get a new story. Just saying, 1, 2, 3. Decide. Let's just sit here and just pull them all. Stay in your own skin. Where do I want to put this one? Right there. I don't ordinarily do this, but the cards popped out the way the cards popped out, and so it is what it is. If you're going to do this, if y'all are going to do this, it's going to be some obstacles and challenges. That's your centerpiece. It ain't never hurt nobody to pray. And while this is not the prayer card, if you believe in angels, fairies, the great pumpkin, the headless horseman, I don't give a damn what it is. Say a prayer and ask your spirit helpers to show you what you need to do or what direction you need to go in so y'all can do this. We already had this discussion. Your help, where your help will come from. You're going to have to start making some decisions. It's just that simple. You're going to have to start making some decisions. I know y'all don't want to hear that. You want to keep this because you're scared if you make this it's coming out. So I'm getting it. Some of y'all are scared to make decisions because ultimately one of you might make the decision to walk away. And that's what's holding up the whole progress. Y'all need to decide, period. You can't keep doing what you're doing because you're not growing. 0. Stay in your own skin. And let me explain to you what I'm saying. When you are busy worrying about the future, dwelling on the past, you are no longer in your own skin. What you mean by that, EJ? Just what I said. You're no longer in your own skin. You're either in your future skin or your old, dead, dry ass, crusty, old skin. It's just that simple. But when you are in the present moment, when you are current, can hear yourself breathing right now, you don't have to worry about any of this. Because you're not going to be stuck on the past. And so damn fearful you can't see the future. Just saying. Stay in your own skin. You're at current skin. That's exactly what I hear, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Stay in your own skin. And quit with the, in the past, I had da-da-da-da. And when I get my back pinching, I'm going to do da-da-da. What's going on right now? How are you feeling in your skin right now? Just putting it out there. Back to basics. Getting into alignment. Didn't I say that? Back to square one. Getting it back to basics. Why do I love you? Why do you love me? Dealing with the very practical things going on in your relationship. And I dare say there's some things both of you got going on that you haven't told your partner. Getting it back to basics. Communicating. Spending time with each other. Talking about what your fears are. If you're scared, ain't no sense in acting like you ain't scared. You might as well say something about it. Because again, you're going to have to get here. You cannot stay in the first grade forever. Matter of fact, this ain't even first grade. This is kindergarten. And I'm not cracking on nobody's age or their maturity. But the maturity of your relationship, the cards are telling me that. You still in the new beginning stage. Some of you been together 9 months, a year, 2 years, 5, 6 months. That, time enough where you should know something about your partner and you should have some kind of vision for your future, even if it's vague. But you should have something because, again, you need to get here. What I said, all that talking negatively, get a new story. Get a new story. If it's all like that, Taurus, I'm talking to you now. Find one positive thing to say or to think about your partner. Aquarius, the same for you. You need to get a new story and get up off this old shit. Probably the theme for this whole reading is let go of the past and move forward. And I think if both of you can do that, you probably have some good times ahead. But if you stay in this energy that you're in, you're going to always be at the new beginning 0 position because you're not giving this enough time because you're letting things keep you and prevent you from being together. Taurus and Aquarius, I love you. I hope you guys have a good week and a good weekend. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.